everybody. Welcome back to the Rock Shop with Ralph, your source for the best celebrity interviews. Today, lock the city up. Tell the people that something's coming to crawl. Sabbath Knights are rushing for you to take a bite from the wall. And from Sabbath Knights, we have a second Black Sabbath drummer, the legend from Dio, Black Sabbath, Derringer, recorded with John Lennon. What else, Vinny? Last in line currently, Scream Taker, Appice Brothers, and Jim Crean solo. We have Vinny Appice, returning guest.
Hello.
Line. And we have lead singer from Appice Brothers, Drum Wars, his solo band, Jim Crean, and Hair Nation, we have Mr. Jim Crean.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey,
how about that for an intro, guys?
Yeah. Hey, Jim, do you remember that? That was cool.
Listen, all those albums and bands, I lost track after Black Sabbath.
Yeah, and Scream. No,
not that. The singing part.
Oh no, he knows the words better than I do. He knew them better than I did.
Yeah, we won't get lyrics with you, Vinny. We know about you and lyrics.
Yeah, I don't listen to those, but I heard those.
You heard those. So, guys, listen. You guys, I love you. You guys are returning guests of the show. I was on a little bit of a hiatus. 4 months, and you guys are my first guest after 4 months, and nobody better, baby. Nobody better.
Nice. Look at that, huh?
And I'm rocking my Sabbath shirt.
Yeah.
See it?
Yeah.
So,
like it.
We're here to talk about the new project after 46 that Vinny has going on. Sabbath Knights. It's Black Sabbath, and in the band we have Mr. Jim Crean, lead singer. We have Artie Dillon on guitar, who actually produced Scream Taker. And who do we have on bass? Jimmy Caputo?
Yep.
And we got Jimmy Caputo on bass. And we have, I don't know, some guy named Vinny from Brooklyn on drums. Just for good measure.
Flatbush show.
Yeah, Flatbush. So,
that guy.
I got to ask the standard question. How did Sabbath Knights come about? Who wants to go?
Dang.
Well, I might as well go. I did something like this in Italy and Europe, and I did 3 tours, like 25 shows, 20 shows, and it went over so well. We didn't call it Sabbath Nights; it was just Black Sabbath, Mob Rules kind of thing with Vinny. And then I thought, this would be great to do this in the States, and I did a few gigs in Ohio with a friend, Mike Carr. And then I wanted to continue this while I have time off. And it's a fun thing. It's a fun project. It's great playing all these old songs, and there's low stress. We're not trying to sell 1 million records. We don't even have a record, and we just want to go out and play. So that's how it started. And I called Jim. I said, you could sing this stuff very well. So what do you think? Yeah. And because it's hard to find a singer that could sing. We could sing Ozzy, but to sing Dio's, that's another challenge. So Jim could do both. He's the man. So we put our heads together, and then we got the band that we played with before, and the Appice Brothers, and Jimmy and Artie, and here we are. So we got some gigs. Yeah, we're excited.
Right, getting some gigs. Can Jim sing Dio? Okay, for the fans that don't know this, which you all probably do, because Jim's been on the show many times before. Just get his solo album Insatiable and go right to Caught in the Middle. Best version aside from Ronnie James Dio and that gentleman right there on his Insatiable album.
Yeah, I played on it too.
And you played on it, exactly right. That's my favorite Dio track.
With Jim.
Jimmy Bain played on it. His last recording he ever did.
Oh, that's right, Jimmy Bain. That's true. Before he passed, obviously.
He literally Jimmy sent me back to the track literally 2 days before he left for the cruise. So he never got to hear the mix. Yeah. He sent me the recording and said, once it's mixed, I'd love to hear it. I said, of course. And then you guys went on that, went away on the cruise. And
Def Leppard, right?
Yeah, you came.
Def Leppard.
Yeah. Yeah. And then he passed away like 2 days after he literally sent me the file. So that was his last thing he's ever recorded.
Wow, you got it. That's amazing.
Well, now that was my next question. I mean, for the fans that don't know, are you doing OZZY and DIO? You doing everything, or you just doing your era, which was Dio?
We're doing we're doing, I would say everything. There's like 1 or 2 songs from the Ozzy era. Then we're doing some stuff from Heaven and Hell. I'm not on that album, so a couple of songs from Heaven and Hell, a couple of songs from Dehumanizer, and a lot of songs from.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
go, because now you got me. You mentioned Dehumanizer. Keep going.
Oh, that's it. And we'll throw in a couple of Dio songs to put the sprinkles on it.
Okay, one of the most underrated Sabbath albums ever. I told you this the last time. Dehumanizer, best drum sound on a Sabbath record ever.
Yep, that's right.
Jim, let's talk about Dehumanizer just for 1 second. Let me see. Let me hope that you're playing 2 songs, and I'm going to tell you this. Let's hope you're playing TV Crimes and or Master of Insanity.
Okay, so TV Crimes was on my list, and then I thought about it, and I said, "How about I?"
There you go.
And he
Aye.
said, "Yes."
Aye.
There it is for you.
And what else?
Aye.
He mentioned
I
2.
don't know.
That's it. That's that record.
Oh, that's it. I mean, you could do Master of Insanity. You could do Buried Alive.
The whole album's great. But
I mean, for the really.
Listen. We got to do 15.
You got to do 15 songs.
Yeah, we got about 15, 16 songs. Yeah,
Oh,
if we have time, we can work something up too.
Listen,
Time Machine, you could do it. Was popular off that album from Wayne's World.
Time Machine was a great song. Great song.
Yeah, Time Machine.
But, I mean, Ralph, you're going to be thrilled with the list because the list is there's so many great songs. But we're doing Heaven and Hell, Mob Rules, songs off Holy Diver and Dehumanizer.
Signs of the Southern Cross. Voodoo.
Turn Up the Night.
Turn Up the Night. Yeah.
Neon Nights, of course, right?
Neon Nights. Stand Up and Shout.
So, Jim, what? Let's just say if you had to pick one Ozzy and one Dio Sabbath song to sing, what's your favorite?
I was never an Ozzy Sabbath fan at all.
You weren't not? You said you were?
I was not. No.
I'm glad you said that.
Ozzy. I didn't really like Ozzy. I didn't really like Sabbath with Ozzy. I got turned on to Sabbath when Ronnie joined Heaven and Hell. But if I had to pick an Ozzy song, I'd probably Sabbath Bloody Sabbath would be a good one. And then, but of course, with Dio, you asked me the Sabbath Dio era?
Yeah.
All of them. So,
so it doesn't matter.
We're doing one of my favorites, Children of the Sea. So.
Oh, awesome. Now, Vinny, what song from the Dio era just gets you every time you're playing it live? I mean, there has to be one that your adrenaline is pumping. You got to pace yourself sometimes. Because I'm a drummer as well. I know how it is. Sometimes you play a little bit too fast.
I would say, well, from Sabbath, it'd be like the Mob Rules, because it's just full of energy. Just kicking forward the whole song,
I knew you.
And then Dio, stand Up and Shout. It's just a burner,
Oh my God! Yeah, I mean that. Well, we're gonna stick to the Sabbath ever because I don't want to get off on Dio because then I get all excited and Dio's my boy. You guys know that. So
birthday today.
That's right.
Yeah, Ronnie James Dio's birthday.
I was just about to say that. Happy birthday, RJD, Mr. Dio, one of the best rock singers of all time, and one of the best human beings of all time, hands down.
That's right.
Hands down.
Right.
Hands down. But you guys, now before we start talking about the tour dates and all that stuff, you guys got anything else besides Sabbath Nights that is coming up? I mean, I know Vinny's always doing something. Always.
Well, I'm doing Last in Line shows. That's coming up in September.
Local?
We on the East Coast. I think we're playing I don't know. We're on the East Coast. I think we're playing close to where we're playing.
All right.
I don't know. I got to look, but it's on the East Coast.
I got to ask you this. I got to ask. What's that, Jim?
Vinny's doing a killer fantasy camp this week.
Oh, you're doing rock and roll fantasy camp?
Yeah, I'm leaving Wednesday to go to New York. We're doing a rock and roll fantasy camp, Beatles and Stones. So we got and Aerosmith. We got Tom Hamilton from Aerosmith and Pete Best from the Beatles.
Wow, one of the originals.
One of the original. I want to meet him. I want to get a picture. And then Daryl, I forgot his last name. He's the bass player for the Stones.
Now let me ask you this: Imagine what the hell? Imagine you're Pete Best.
What's that? What?
I said, imagine you're Pete Best for a minute, and you're in the Beatles, but you're not in the Beatles. Do you kick yourselves around your whole fucking life?
You know, I was thinking about that. I'm thinking a lot of people would have just freaked out. Maybe they would have committed suicide, to see something like that happen after you're not in the band. It's just incredible how you could go on with life. And he's probably a very strong person. I really have to give it to him that, man, I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you're going to be at this camp, and I get to meet you, and still part of rock history.
Yes.
I mean, he's probably been around things Ringo's not seen.
Yeah.
Or done. So the very beginning, I mean, of Beatles. I love the Beatles,
Oh, and
so this is
by the way, how many people can say they had on their show somebody that recorded with John Lennon?
Yeah, too. I don't know what kind of guy he is, but I'm going to tell him I worked with John a little bit. And,
I'm talking about you.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to tell him that I worked with John and see how he.
Right. You talk about that.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say for shits and giggles, I got to ask you this stupid little question. Let's just say Tony, he is Sabbath Knights, and he knows Jim. Jim is a great frontman, can handle it. Let's just say he wants to put Heaven and Hell back together, and he says, "Hey, let's get this cat Jim. Who's that guy, Jim Crean? Can we get him? And can we go back out on the road? What do you think? Are you there or what?
What do you think?
You're damn fucking right. You better be there.
I'd have to check if I got that call, I'd have to check my schedule to make sure I could, move things around.
And Jim, that call is not a Vinnie Vincent call. Remember that.
Oh, ouch.
That's not a Vinnie Vincent call. We know where that thing went. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's rock and roll royalty. But Jim can front any platinum selling band there is out today. I mean, I always say that. I love Jim.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, what's up with Scream Taker? Great debut album. I mean, songs were still in my head. What do you think? A follow-up's going to happen?
Me and Vinny been talking. Vin, go ahead.
Yeah, we were talking about it. We both really love the album. I love the way it came out. I'd love to do another one, and it would be great to do some shows together.
Right.
Yeah.
And once we get comfortable with this, we could work up a couple of those songs and throw them in the set as well.
With the Sabbath Knights.
So, yeah, why not?
Hey, it's your band. You can do whatever you want.
A bonus track,
I'd love to do a follow-up to that album. I'd love to do a follow-up. I get asked all the time, people that have the Scream Taker record, like Vinny said, want to see us tour off it, but they also want more music of that sound. And like Vinny said earlier, the album it has a sound. It's a real sounding record, not like my solo albums. They're great, but they all sound different. You can tell that each song's kind of different. It doesn't sound like a band. It sounds like exactly what it is, a solo album.
Right.
This sounds like a real band.
Yeah, and, it has one sound, and that's the sound to it. Your solo albums, you have different guitars, different drummers. So
different types of songs. Jim had some love songs in there. We didn't allow Jim to do any love songs or any
puffy
ballads.
shirts.
I tried. They wouldn't let me.
Yeah.
I got the tissues out. But what was cool about the Scream Taker record is, we started just demoing these things. Then Vinny got them, and just, with his expertise at forming a song, he would arrange them. And then before you know it, our ideas the three of us just really wrote killer songs. And I would love to see if we have that magic again to do a follow-up and what it would sound like. It would be really interesting to see if we could capture that. Because I got to be honest with you, every song on that record is great.
Oh my God, that's Eternity.
It's
a good
my
record.
Favorite on there, and Curse of the Werewolf.
Yeah, great song.
Eternity.
Great song. I like them all. I love that album.
And Vinny, you got that hat on.
Real.
Go ahead.
We'll get to the hat. Stephen Hound is a very talented dude. I mean, he played guitar, he played bass on it, and he sang background on some of it.
No, he
phenomenal guitarist, Steph.
Yeah,
Phenomenal.
he played guitar. What's that?
Phenomenal guitarist, Steph Hand.
Yeah, he's
Amazing.
great. So unfortunately he's in France for us to just get together and do some local shows. So
Right.
it becomes an expense. So we'll see what we can do.
And
Now
now
the hat. What do you think of the hat?
wait. While we mentioned Steph, now he's in the Sloan Square band as well.
Yeah, which is cool. Yeah, good.
Right. And I got to mention Artie Dillon, your guitarist for Sabbath Nights, produced that record.
Did a great job.
Wait.
Oh yeah, he produced us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you
Artie's
got to
great.
give props where props is due. I mean, he did a great job on it.
That's right. That's right.
So Vinny, what's up with that hat?
What do you think?
Well, yeah.
You got I could tell you this. You got a dirty mind. Right?
Listen, I'm from Queens, Vinny. You're from Brooklyn. You know how we roll.
Yeah. So the funny bit with this hat is it could be taken as, man, that's a little dirty, isn't it? And beaver fever. We all have beaver fever anyway, but it's a complete opposite. I got this hat from Jerry Mathers, Leave It to Beaver.
No shit.
And this is his merch hat.
Oh my God.
One of the styles. Because I met him at a couple of events that
Mentions, yeah.
Comic-Con events I've done with him and Wally, Tony Dow, that's now passed. And we became, friends in a way. And he sent me a couple of hats and I sent him some stuff too. And this is one of the hats. And I saw it, I went, oh my, because Jerry's pretty straight and, he's not rocked out and, thinking what you're thinking about this hat.
Hey,
He
man,
just thought it was Beaver Fever. So
Beaver
it's
Fever.
funny.
What's going on with your? I know you're still doing Sawtooth drums because I watch it on Tuesdays. What is it? Tuesdays at 4 on my time, right?
7 your time.
7 my time, 4 your time.
Yeah, it is the drums.
Yeah, and you'll be at it tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes. Yes. I wish I could play some fucking Sabbath and Dio on the show because it's Ronnie's birthday, but they get a copyright problem with Facebook.
Are you serious? Bastards.
Yeah. As soon as I start playing it, streaming it, if I played it something, I get this thing. Oop, copyright warning. We're muting the sound on certain parts of the song.
What
The
happened
funny
with,
thing,
yeah, I'm sorry.
what's fucked up is I played Holy Diver and that happened. It came up with a message and then it kept kicking the people off. I went, this is ridiculous.
Bullshit.
And then I look on Facebook and there's some girl playing Holy Diver. She's pretty good too. And she's got like 4 million views and that's okay. But for me to stream it on Facebook, oh, you can't do that. That's a copyright infringement. That doesn't make any sense. So I tested it. I actually recorded.
Right. What happened with the arcade?
And I recorded a video
show?
with Holy Diver. Oh, well, everybody got busy. The thing, you tried to get guests, everybody's on the road. And yeah, it was great during COVID.
Your brother's fighting with Nikki Sixx.
Yeah, I put Nicky in a trunk and buried him in New Jersey.
Yeah, you got to show him
Link to that website.
Listen, Vinny, we're real Italians. He's a fake. He says his last name's Ferrano. I mean, we know that shit ain't true, and he ain't rolling like Queens and Brooklyn like us.
Right.
We'll
Yeah.
leave him on a belt.
Yeah, that was funny.
Jim.
Yeah, Carmine loved it. He got all the publicity.
Yeah, well, that's what he wanted, and they're really giving it to Mick, huh?
Yeah.
Jim, Hair Nation. You guys, you're always doing gigs with that band, and that is one of the best cover bands on the East Coast. They do everything from Motley Crue, Def Leppard, Dio, Judas Priest, among many others. And his lovely fiance Colleen Mastrakova is the drummer in that band.
Yeah.
So
Kicks
what do we have?
ass too.
Kicks ass is right. What's up with that band as well?
Yeah, it's a working band. It's pays the bills and keeps me in tune vocally. It's a great thing for me so that when I got to go out on the road with the big guns, Vinny and the gang.
Right.
I'm nice and tuned up, you know. So I mean, I sing, you know, I pretty much sing live every week. I've been doing that for about 23 years with this band. So I've sang pretty much every
The
week
pipes are ready
live
to
for
go.
23 years.
Keep it
Yeah,
safe.
and I'm one of those rare oddities that it's funny, we'll talk about Ronnie, but Ronnie, I read an article about Ronnie years ago that he doesn't warm up. He has a
No.
beer and goes on. I've been like that my whole career. I never warm up. I hear these guys doing all these me and all that. I'm like, I just go out and just hit it.
Right.
And I'm those freaks that I'm better the 10th show than I am the first show. You know what I mean?
Right.
Some guys are burned out by the 10th show. I'm stronger by the 10th show. So, you know, it's just one of those things. Like Vinny said, I'm conditioned and I play a lot. I sing a lot.
And Sabbath Nights, what's the plan with that? Is this going to be a month, a yearly thing, Ben? We're going to keep it going as long as we can.
Yeah.
As long as they want, you're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, these are the first bunch of shows. I actually got a show before this in Vegas with a different band because it's the West Coast, a really good band too.
Right.
It's at a casino, and then we start up with this. Yeah, this I'd like to do because Vivian Campbell's in Def Leppard, and there's a lot of time he's got to go play with them.
Right.
And we have a lot of downtime with Last in Line. So this is a great way to book some shows in that space that's, you know, we're off.
Right.
So so I'm looking forward to doing more shows as things progress with the schedules and stuff.
Right. So if you get
and plus it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
I'm having
Our
fun.
agent, Alex Grossi, out of
he was on the
BTE.
show, Quiet Riot guitarist.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He's our agent now. He's handling the band. He actually just reached out to me, and you know, there's a lot of interest in Mexico and then of course the West Coast, Midwest. So the shows that Vin can do, you know, obviously when Def Leppard's out touring, we're going to try and fill those holes up with this. So I mean, if all goes well, we could be working, you know, pretty steadily with this thing.
Because it has to be because I was going to ask this to Vinny. I'm sorry to keep going back to Vinny, but I have to ask Vinny. I mean, Geezer announced his retirement. What's your opinion?
Yeah.
Do you think Sabbath is done? Do you think Tony's done? Do you think is there ever going to be another possible formation of Sabbath or possible solo Tony Iommi? Anything? Just your opinion. I'm not asking you for a quote. We're not looking to get on blabbermouth, blah blah blah. I'm just asking you your professional opinion.
I would think at this point that it's done. Ozzy's doing a couple of shows, maybe with these big shows. I thought he was retired also.
Yeah.
But Geezer sounds like I read his book and he sounds like that's it. He wants to retire. And Tony's into other things. He's doing music for some ballet in England and I think he's happy doing what he's doing. But you never know.
Right.
Somebody comes down in office. I'm maybe in touch via email now and then, not a lot.
Right.
So you never know what could happen. But right now it looks like
yes.
That's why it's a good time for this Sabbath night.
Right. Definitely a good time for this. I'm trying to get you guys, believe it or not, I spoke to Jim about it. I'm trying to get you guys out here on Long Island or in the city.
Yeah.
That
would be cool.
Because you guys haven't been here. But go ahead, Jim. You were about to say something?
What Vinny was saying, if you know that they cancel shows and whatnot, Ozzy just canceled another show today. Actually, Eddie Trunk just announced that he canceled.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, Ozzy did. That
how many shows did he have?
I think he had 2 of them, and both of them just got canceled.
Yeah,
a big power, whatever.
Yeah, they had that really big show with a whole bunch of sort of like one of those Live Aid shows.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, right.
So we got some dates coming up for Sabbath Nights on the East Coast, upstate. What do you got, Jim? What's the dates and where are they?
Vin, you got them in front of you?
Landis Theater.
I will. It is. That's not the folder. That's not the folder either. Hang on.
While he's looking,
I was bringing up some pictures. For Ronnie's birthday. Okay, so we got here. We've got. Oh, that's the old one. Let's get the new one. There we go.
I know we got Rochester, we got the Landis Theater, and we have Boston.
817, Backlot Entertainment Venue, Akron, New York. 818, Landis Theater, Vineland, New Jersey. 819, The Vault Music Hall, New Bedford, Massachusetts. And the last show is in Rochester at the theater at Innovation Square on the 20th.
Wow.
So check that out.
So you got 4 dates.
And then the first show for me is in Arizona Charlie's Casino, Las Vegas, on the 12th. And that's the Decatur location. So I have 5 shows. They got 4 shows.
Awesome. So you got 8.
We're all going to kick ass.
August 17th, August 18th, August 19th, and August 20th.
That's right.
Right? You got Akron, New York.
Yep.
You got Rochester, New York, Bedford, Massachusetts. Vineland, New Jersey, Bedford, Massachusetts. And the last one is Rochester. So you heard it here.
That's it.
817, 818, 819, and 820. Final thoughts, guys.
That's right.
Anything.
Now, if you add up those numbers, you didn't know this, but it comes to 666.
Ah, nice. Nice, Vinny. Vinny, as he's wearing a Beaver Fever shirt, he expects me to think that he knows about the devil.
Oh,
especially if you know how to add.
Leave it to Beaver gave him that friggin' hat, and he's talking about the devil.
I wanted to meet them. I said, you know what? They're at this show, this event. I got to meet these guys. So they took me upstairs and meet them. And then what they said was, when they said the drummer from Black Sabbath wants to come meet you, and they went, the drummer from Black Sabbath wants to come meet us. Like Tony and Beaver, Theodore and Wally.
It's like
said, yeah,
it's like the Life cereal commercial. He likes it. Hey, Mikey.
You know who else came over? One of those things. This guy comes over. He's all excited. Vinny, I'm a big fan. Yeah, he's a bit older than me. And yeah,
who's it? Screech from Saved by the Bell?
No, it's little Ricky from the Lucy show.
Oh my God.
I love Lucy. He played the drums.
Yeah, Babaloo.
He comes up. He goes, man, I'm a big fan. I go, you're a big fan of me? I said, I used to watch you as a kid playing the drums and that old set you had. That was beautiful. And we took some pictures. I gave him a picture, and then he gave me a picture. Oh, it was incredible. These are like childhood heroes, back in the day. Well,
listen, Vin, you're one of my childhood heroes. I say it all the time. Sometimes I gotta pinch myself that I'm talking to you. 1983, I bought that album, and it's been uphill ever since.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you coming on my show. But believe it or not, you make my week, you make my year every time you come on. And this guy, I can't get enough about. This guy's my brother from another mother, Jim. I mean, me and him talk all the time. We talk about the industry. We talk about his solo career. There's nobody better than Mr. Jim Crean right next to you.
That's right. That's right. The nice guy too. Easy to work with. No problems. And it's great to be in a band with him.
You're damn right. So when Tony gives you that call, he better be the first guy that's out there. I'm telling you. Otherwise, I'm taking.
Well, he's got to check his schedule, so we'll see.
His schedule. I'll clear his schedule out. Don't worry about
it. If he can't do it, maybe we'll get Colleen.
As the drummer?
2 drummers. No, 2 drummers.
She knows a lot more about lyrics, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
All right, guys, listen. It's always a pleasure. You guys are welcome anytime you want to come on. Don't forget, fans, 17, 18, 19, and 20 are the dates. Akron, New York, Vineland, New Jersey, Bedford, Massachusetts, and Rochester, New York. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I'll even throw it out. For the first 5 fans that message me a ticket stub from those shows, they'll get a Rock Shop with Ralph t-shirt. US. Okay? So how's that?
Right there.
Put it out there.
Right there.
Maybe I'll get some more Beaver Fever hats.
Don't ask for the Beaver Fever shirt.
I gotta tell a quick story real quick.
Yeah, what do we got, Jim?
We were backstage one time, and I said to Vin, I go, it's really cool your brother was on Ed Sullivan and stuff. I go, man, that must have been amazing that you what was it like at your house when your brother was on Ed Sullivan? Vinny goes, it was cool, it was great. We were all, thrilled, but I couldn't wait to go watch Lead to Beaver.
Leave it to Beaver?
Leave it to Beaver. Yeah, except that was on in the morning, so I had to wait till the next day.
Hey, Vin, you ever go back to the old neighborhood?
I do once in a while. It's been about 3 or 4 years. Yeah, it's pretty funny going back there.
All right,
It's
how it's changed.
It's all Hasidic Jews now, where
Oh.
before it was a lot of Italian and
I see them, but I don't believe them.
yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
guys, listen. I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming on, and I will talk to you guys soon. Hopefully, see you.
All
soon.
right.
Hopefully, see
Yeah,
you.
come down.
Yes. Thank you very
you
much,
can.
guys. Jim,
All
I'll
right,
talk to
Ralph.
you
Take care.
later, brothers. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Later, bro.
Take care.